Many of our local school districts are experiencing funding challenges, so tonight we're going to touch on several and some of the reasons and consequences of that issue. We'll start with Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools, where the district got its full funding request of $180 million. However, the district is in a $42 million deficit, and commissioners say the county will not bail them out.
We don't have a fund balance either.
If the county were to give the school district a $32 million loan, Chairman Don Martin says it would tank the county's AAA credit rating and put the county in a tough financial position. Martin, who was superintendent of WSFCS for 19 years, has uniquely qualified insight into what he thinks happens next.
Part of the issue that created this was state dollars are generated from enrollments. Enrollments have gone down. There are fewer state paid positions, so they will have to reduce staff.
Some of that could be done via attrition, retirements, and resignations, but a RIF or reduction in force is becoming more likely. Outgoing Superintendent Tricia McManus proposed ideas like changing class sizes as a cost savings measure at the May 28th school board meeting, showing increasing class sizes by 2 students could save $6.67 million.
I had to do that at one time in one of the years in my 19th.
Still, it's not ideal.
You don't ever want to do it.
For his part, Martin has spoken to State Superintendent Mo Green, who served as superintendent in Guilford County.
I can send him a text and he will. I can call his cell phone and he will answer. So that's been a good thing.
Having Green in on the conversations with the district, the state legislators, and other power players is essential, Martin says, to working toward a solution, and one that won't come easy.
This is unprecedented and there's no magic bullet.
A district spokesperson said in part that they were happy the commissioners approved $180 million for fiscal year 25-26. Now, they went on to say they were disappointed the $32 million loan was turned down, saying they understand the commissioner's position that maintaining the county's fiscal stability is paramount. The district also thanked the commission for leniency in repaying their $5 million debt to the county. Now, the county did offer relief in that way. The district owes the county $5 million, and they're going to offer them a repayment plan. It's something that Martin hopes the state will consider for the $18 million that the district owes the state. Martin, though, did give some hope. The state is not going to reduce its funding for next year to the school district by that $18 million. Coming up next, we'll look at the consequences of the funding status in Guilford County schools, where because of many factors, some projects could be too expensive to complete with the money that you voted on. Guilford County voters approved $2 billion for the school system to update its facilities back in 2020 and 2022, like brand new schools to replace those badly aging buildings. Bond initiatives are budgeted based on the prices at that time. Since then, prices for construction materials in particular have skyrocketed. They could get even worse. Sarah Winkleman spoke with school officials of which of their 51 top priority projects they'll be able to complete.
Writing was kind of on the wall.
Superintendent Dr. Whitney Oakley said when they returned from the pandemic, they knew this would be tricky, but in the 2021-2022 school year, it really sunk in. This is the new reality of pricing.
No one had a crystal ball about construction. I can't go to Lowe's and get a piece of wood or go to the gas station and fill up for what it cost in 2019.
Now, with tariffs on the table, pricing is even more unpredictable.
We're constantly evaluating how far those dollars will go, how we can use some strategies like replicating a building plan. So like if you think about the Allen J and Sumner that are coming up, they have the same layout, which saves in design.
In the 2019 Facilities Master Plan, there are 51 priority projects listed to use the bond dollars. But because of rising costs, Dr. Oakley said they won't get very far down that list with the $2 billion. There are 4 projects no longer needed, so Dr. Oakley expects they'll make it about halfway down to Project 25 on the list, which leaves about 25 projects in limbo.
It was decades in the making, and it's going to take decades to get out of. I think we need to think about how we make a more predictable stream to be able to continue to do the work, because the buildings didn't get in that condition overnight.
It starts with the ballot, and Dr. Oakley said she wants to see bond referendums more often to keep cash flowing.
I think if they know what it's for, I think putting energy and resources behind being able to say what dollars are for on the ballot increases transparency, increases accountability, and our community stands behind public education.
You can take a look at the list of priority projects to see if your school's project could be funded. We have a link for that on our website, myfox8.com. And again, tariff costs could change that list in the future. And we're also going to take a look at Alamance County and Rockingham County schools, where each district has their own needs for staff, facilities, and more, and turning to their local counties. And even the state is becoming a tougher task. In Graham, last week, hundreds of people showed up to the Alamance County Commission meeting to advocate for the Alamance-Burlington school system, among other reasons. The school system requested about $78 million for the next fiscal year. You might remember the recent challenges at ABSS, given mold damage on many of their campuses. To meet that financial request, property taxes would have to climb by 7.5 cents, something many commissioners said was untenable. Now, the county's manager has recommended $53 million in funding for the school district, and it's up for a vote at their next meeting on June 16th. Proposed budget cuts could hit the Rockingham County School District next year as well. Student enrollment's down by almost 300 students, and just like every other district, they're getting fewer federal dollars post-COVID. Figuring out how to balance the books, here's Justin Lundy, who sat down with their superintendent.
We're faced in an economy that's a little bit uncertain, and also federal funding, which accounts for a lot of our positions in Rockingham County and across the state. We've gotten word yesterday that that is being cut.
Possible budget cuts on the local level for Rockingham County schools could stem from a reduction in funding on the federal level, according to district officials.
We lost about $200,000 from migrant funding. We lost $100,000 from funding for our schools, the Title I funding, and I believe $200,000 for professional development funding.
Superintendent Dr. John Stover III says it's something he wants to avoid, but the decision ultimately falls on the school board. An anticipated decline in enrollment wouldn't help. 286
students less than projected, and so we are projected for approximately 10,900 students, and our budget is based on that.
To make up for the lost funds, Stover says the school district has to save $2 to $3 million over the next fiscal year. He says he looked at several options, including shrinking the school resource officer program through the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office,
which was basically one for every 2 schools. I actually talked to the sheriff, and when he said that he didn't think it was a good idea, I told him on that day that that's all I needed to hear, and that was off the table.
As of right now, Stover's proposed budget cuts for the 2025-2026 fiscal year include shortening the school year from 172 days to 168, cutting one unfilled counselor position, cuts to the central office, adjusting staff allotment, and cutting the parent resource centers that were launched as a Title I initiative. Stover says they're currently run by 3 employees.
We're one of the only counties in the state that still has that. Is an incredibly valuable program. We just weren't seeing enough traffic into those centers. Each center averaged 5 or less visitors a day.
The cuts aren't something parents want hanging over their heads as the school year comes to a close.
Yeah, I feel like they struggle every year to have enough staff and enough teachers and assistant teachers, bus drivers even, they don't have enough of, so it's really concerning.
Stover is looking to calm those concerns as summer break kicks off.
None of these cuts I want to do, but if we work together and we have a conversation on what's best for our kids and our community, we can get through anything.
Tough decisions all over the triad. Many of our local districts advocating to the state to step up and meet some of those financial needs. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Keep up with our education stories at myfox8.com and on air, and have a great week.